What is making you a quitter? What is making you a weak man? What is making you afraid? That's why I kept on quitting and going back to start, or not knowing how to get through hard times. And that's why I always tell people, I'm not a theorist. I didn't study a book. I literally put myself in a fire repeatedly, like a sword. You put a sword in a fire repeatedly and repeatedly. If you keep on doing that, you're gonna get a nice sword. And then you keep on beating it. And that's what I am. We can't quit. We gotta figure out what is wrong with you, what's going on here. So I kept on putting the sword back in the daggone fire, and I just beat it harder. And I beat it harder. And I beat it harder. Before I knew it, I started realizing, all right, man, the brain is starting to get hard. The brain is starting to get hard. I'm no longer a theorist. I'm now a practitioner. I put it in hell. I dissected it while it's in hell, because you can't dissect anything in a normal environment. You can't dissect anything in 72-degree weather. Dissect it when it's miserable. Dissect the brain when all it's thinking about is, I need to get out of here, man. Open the door. And you said, nah, 5 more seconds, man. 5 more seconds in the freezer. And that's when you start to pick that brain apart. And that's what all this stuff did to me. I kept on putting myself back into the freezer or the fire, and I beat it harder out of myself, mentally and physically. Before I knew it, this is what happened. You may get some results from it, but they're not permanent. The permanent result comes from you. You have to suffer. You have to make that a tattoo on your brain, so when that hard time comes again, you don't forget it. As you're trying to fix yourself and dig yourself out of this deep hole that life, society, and you helped also. Those people who you saw down there in that hole, who were there with you, who were your friends and people who you counted on, you meet the people in the same situation that you're in life. Those people become your friends. And the second you try to get out of that situation and become better, those people are in that grave, in that dungeon, just yanking at your heels, man, saying, get the back. Oh no, come on back here. So I get that all the time now. People would constantly remind me of who I used to be back in the day. I messed up here, I messed up here, I messed up everywhere. And so I realized the worst thing that happened to me is I lost myself. I never had myself. I never found myself. I had no self-esteem. So I knew through working out and through learning, because it took a lot for me to learn also, I started finding self-esteem. Once I found that, that's when doors started opening up. I stopped caring about people, that what they thought, being judged. Wow, if I say this, if I started right now, are you gonna make fun of me? I stopped caring about that. And that's when my life started really changing for me, slowly but surely. Now alarm clock goes off at 4 or 5 in the morning. Your mind says no. You just say, this is what we do. It's what we do now. Because to get to where you want to go, the amount of pain involved, I'm not saying physical, I'm not saying you got to break yourself off. The amount of mental pain of how many times you're going to have to do something that you don't want to do to get to where you want to go. There's going to be more times you do something that you don't want to do than you are going to want to do it. That's your new norm. So then it's like breathing. And then once you do this over and over and over again, it becomes like breathing. I don't want to live this lifestyle, but to get to the other side of this, I have to. So I want you to go there with me. You want to learn from me? Let me take your ass home. Let me take you there. That's the whole thing about it, man. We're scared to dive into our lives, what made us who we are. The beautiful people that we are. We're all jacked up in so many ways. That's the beauty of us. That's the beauty of me. I'm jacked up, but I figured out my own little process on how to get unjacked up. You know, I'm not gonna get the same way you're gonna get there. You may get there by going point A to point B. I might go point C to D to E to F, but I'm gonna be there the same way you are, just a little harder. That's how I train my brain. So it's just different. I'm just a different thinker. Like, my mindset is very different than most people. I don't want to be known too much. I don't want too many looky-loos in my life, because that's where I gain my strength. I gain my strength from a place of quiet. And the more I got my story out there, the more I realized it no longer be David Goggins, the quiet man. It'd be David Goggins, the guy that's on Instagram, answering this, answering that, because I'm also a guy that's always about, if someone reaches out to me, I'm not gonna sit back and say, oh, you know, whatever. I'm gonna reach back to you. So it's gonna take time out of me trying to gain strength and me trying to get ready to go.